The numbers that we need, you're not going to get them. We've been doing this for 40 years. How long will it take for us to realize we need significant change? We need to keep our young people out of prison, off the streets, out of the illegal gangs that are there. Look, if you want fewer criminals, reduce criminal opportunity. Period.
And then if we're bringing more drugs into the country illegally, that presents more opportunity for people to use drugs and sell drugs. So if you're talking about decreasing opportunity, how does that tie into the equation?
You got to get rid of the illegal trade. You got to end the illegal trade.
Should prostitution then be legalized?
I don't know. I'm not an expert in prostitution. I am an expert when it comes to drug enforcement and the carnage from that. You may not agree with me, but you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 30-something years. I've seen the devastation. I know why young people get involved in the trade. I know why many young people use. Someone spoke to that earlier about, the mental health issues that we have with our young people, and the abuse that they receive. Imagine if we took all of this energy and resources that we're using for the criminal justice system and drugs and drug enforcement and put it towards rebuilding family and teaching kids to make good decisions, because like I said before, most of the things that will harm our kids in this world today are legal.
Let me ask you, you heard Ron Daniels say that there is some form of racism when it seems that more African Americans are targeted for drug violations. You said that you were a part of bringing in African Americans who, were dealing drugs.
Yeah, because we didn't go into gated communities in suburban America.
Okay, so do you feel that you're a part of that racist system of incarcerating African Americans?
Of course, most police are. Now, not willingly and knowingly. It's just, as Hillary Shelton said, enforcing the laws that are put in front of us. And in enforcement of those laws, we develop strategies. Open air drug markets. I'm going to say this. When the jobs left our communities, the drug organizations were mostly indoors. I mean, it was like through who you know. You didn't have the open air drug markets back in the 70s and what have you. You had major drug organizations that managed the agreements between themselves, and that's how they conducted business. But when we started making these arrests and breaking up, dismantling these drug organizations, these major drug organizations, like in Baltimore, it was Little Melvin Williams, it was Linwood Gross, Peanut King, and they had these agreements among themselves. But when we started locking them up in their organizations, then we created a void for drug dealers. And so all these young entrepreneurs came onto the scene, and they conducted their business in the streets. And that's why we have the gangs clashing today. That's why we have them struggling and using guns to acquire corners to sell their drugs.
Can you imagine what would happen if drugs were legal?
Yeah, it'd be like selling marijuana out of a packaged goods store. You wouldn't have open air drug markets. See, that's the fallacy that people think. They think that if drugs were legal, that we'd still have the illicit trade. If drugs were legal, if you had to get a permit in order to sell out of a particular establishment or a store or a location, and I'm just talking about marijuana right now, because that's the easiest one for most people to conceive, you wouldn't have people selling marijuana on the corners. You know why? Because it would still be illegal. So you as a buyer, knowing that, okay, I got two choices here to get my marijuana. Do I go to you, the illegal dealer on the corner, and I don't know anything about the quality of what you're selling,
And if I'm caught buying from you, I'm still going to face criminal sanctions, even if it's only a $200 fine. Or I'll go across the street to the liquor store and get a pack of marijuana, a nickel bag or whatever, where I know that it has to be of a certain quality. I don't face being arrested, and it's cheaper? That's a difficult decision to make.